Yo, people, what's good? Welcome back to another episode of Durag Diaries. And unfortunately, today, as you can see, there's no Durag, man. The hairline is exposed. Look at it. I have to stay a bit further back over here for you guys. But yeah, man, as we know, Tottenham don't win. The Durag's off. And unfortunately for today, we're reviewing yesterday's game. Brighton 3, Tottenham 2. But before we go into the details of the game, everything that happened and break it down a bit further, please, we just need to do some housekeeping. New channel, as you can see, the the laborers have been constructing. Let's just say that. Got a new little layout, new intro. Yeah, man, we've been working in the background, been trying to spruce it up a little bit for you guys, show a little bit of professionality, because I've been in this game for too long to just be doing up basic settings. But as you know, as we said, housekeeping, please make sure you subscribe, make sure you like, and drop a comment, man. Even if you're hating on me, tell me what you think. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Arsenal fans, rival fans, please come at me, man. I'm all for the smoke, and especially after today, I'll probably deserve it after this game. Fucking bottle jobs, man. We're absolute bottle jobs. There's no way around it. I even saw the stat yesterday. Spurs, it's funny. Spurs are the only team in Premier League history to have let a team come back from 2 goals behind and win more than 10 times. Or I think yesterday was our 10th time. No other team's done it more than 6 times. It's absolutely embarrassing. How can you have a game of 2 halves like that? And, it's just a mess. It's a mess. It's just a Spursy fucking way. Because we went 2-0 up, and I'm not going to lie. Even at 2-0, I didn't know if the game was won. The game wasn't even won. And what makes it even worse, Tottenham, they messed up my Aka too, man. I'm sure it wasn't just me. They messed us up. I had them on a double chance, and the double chance, all we needed was 1 goal. They messed me up. But away from that, away from the betting and everything, yesterday was disappointing. Hugely disappointing performance, because off the back of a 5-5, I thought the team was growing in confidence. Our performances were growing, and we sort of, off the back of that Arsenal game, we had a few shaky performances at Arsenal, even Ferencvaros in the week. And there was a few games where you looked at the team was building, they were getting better and better, and start to iron out some of the cracks that we had at the start of the season, where we wasn't finishing our chances, there wasn't a much urgency on the ball, and in the back, we seemed to be very shored up and not give away too much. Sorry, guys, I'm still a bit ill, so coffee's needed to wake me up and clear out the nostrils and them things. But I thought we were picking up momentum, and to be honest, with the starting lineup that we went ahead in the Brighton team, it made sense. We went with the same team that started against Brentford last week in the 3-1 win, and to be honest, I had no qualms, no changes that I would have made. Potentially Turbo Tim, I would have sat him on the bench, because that guy is an absolute mess. But that's a conversation we get into every week. I was going to say get into it later, but we get into that every single week. He needs to get sent back home. Send this guy back to Germany. He's useless. Rubbish. Absolutely crap. Turbo Timo, you know. Guys were getting gassed and telling me, but he gets into good positions. But he can take on his man. No one plays like him because of the runs that he makes in behind. You can make as many runs in behind if you want. You can get into the good positions. But if you have no quality when you're on the ball in those positions, does it even matter? Does it matter? 18 seconds into the game, 18 seconds in, we find ourselves through, down on the left side. All you need to do is lace it. Just play it perfect. Just caress it into Brennan Johnson's path. And what's he do? He fucking lashes it at him across the box. Of course he's not going to get to it. I know when it's another missed chance. Just another missed chance. And it's time and time again this happens with Turbo Tim, man. He's an absolute mess on that left side. And one guy that continuously, for me, is causing our issues in that front line. Not that I think yesterday was most of the issues were caused at the front. I think our main problems were at the back. But let's just talk about the first half as a whole. I think the first half we were really good. We brought the intensity. We turned up to the game showing that we wanted it more than them. We brought the intensity to them, pressing high up the pitch. Didn't really let them get out their half too much. And when they did, we were recovering well and sweeping it up at the back. Some good movements and some good passages of play. Kulusevski was doing really well in the middle, finding himself with open gaps on the wings and utilizing that free role really well, because they couldn't stop him in the first half. He's getting on the ball, he's taking it down the right, he's taking it down the left, he's finding the pass, and sort of we're creating chances. The problem with in the first half is the chances we were creating, we weren't putting them away again, or we're getting to the box and then we start overplaying it. And that's the one thing that I've hated about Tottenham this season is we think we're prime Barcelona. We're trying to pass, get into the box, pass, trying to find the perfect shot, when you just have to lace it. Let it go sometimes. We have players like Maddison, Kulu, even Bentancur and that. Like, Son wasn't on yesterday, but Solanke, like, let the ball go. Shoot. Have a chance at goal. Show us that you want to score. Far too often, you're trying to pass it into the goal, and then we ended up breaking down the move and Brighton get on a counter-attack. And they were dangerous on the counter yesterday. That Yakuba Minte from Newcastle, he's a player. Class out on that right-hand side. And Udogie, I'm not going to lie, I think that's the worst game I've seen for Udogie in a Spurs shirt in total. I haven't seen him play a worse game than that. Even to his partner, Van de Ven, I think that's the worst game I've seen him play since the Newcastle battering, that when Isaac had him, eating grass and them things. So it was a really, really poor defensive performance. And every time they broke down on the wing, on the flanks, on the right-hand side, whether it be the right or the left, Yakuba Minte and Karim Matoma were just causing us issues. They're beating their man, getting balls into the box. And Romero and Van de Ven, I really don't know what was going on yesterday. The chemistry looked absolutely off. There was no communication. They're consistently spread apart at the back. Should be getting tight, especially when you got good wingers like that. People that are going to play the flanks and they're going to consistently put balls into the box for a danger man like Danny Welbeck. Just get tight, sit tight, let them put the crosses in, and we'll deal with it when they come in. But no, they're trying to do the man-to-man mark out there. And Mitoma was taking on his man, beating Porro, dragging him out, and then beating him. Same for Udogie, and we saw how the goals were conceded. But it was great for Brennan Johnson to get on the score sheet again, 6-6. Again, I wouldn't really say that his overall performances have been amazing, but he's done what we've needed him to do, and that's put the ball in the back of the net. Some great movement, and you know what? In the build-up to the play for both goals, I have to really shout out to Dom Solanke, man. I think DS19's been he's been doing his thing. He's shown how key he is to our system and our style of play. When he drops in deep, he does the little 1-2s, and he sort of wins the ball high up in the pitch, lays it off to Maddison, who then plays the pass through to Timo and then comes back to himself. And it was good, man. Good little well-worked goals for both of them. We showed that we can, the high press works. That's how we won our goals, and that's how we won it back. But it's the defensive issues that are more than a bigger problem to me, man. Because Romero, the guy that always, in my last video, Rolls-Royce Romero, I'm always doing up his prop. But how, bro? What's going on at the back? You're looking like a bozo right now, because I can't lie. I can't continue to defend this. How many times are you going to sit there and watch the birds fucking fly in the sky? How many times are you going to get distracted at the back? You're supposed to be captain. You're supposed to be making that line. You're supposed to be communicating to everyone where they're supposed to be. But this is the one guy that's out here daydreaming time and time again. I'm not going to lie. Every goal, he was at fault. What's he doing for the third goal? He's literally standing there ball watching. Him and Porro ball watching. The doggy gets beat on the left-hand side. And I don't even know how Rutner got through 3 players. And then Bentancur couldn't beat him on the 50-50 just to put the ball in the box. And Romero be standing around like, oh, you're going to blame on. There's no one to blame on. It's your fault, bro. You get 2 gas when you go to South America on your little international breaks, win a couple games. Oh, yeah, we're feeling nice. Messi ain't here. Messi's not at Spurs, bro. He's not going to gas you up when you're at home. You need to be doing that. Show us with performances, blood. Fuck. Honestly, like, I think I'm getting to the point where I can't defend this no more. The defending yesterday was just shocking. And I'm not going to sit here and blame it on Andrew's team or Andrew's setup or the tactical or the system, because I do think there's times, and I think he should have made substitutions earlier. It was quite clear to see just 10 minutes into the half that the momentum had shifted. Brighton were peppering us, and the goals were coming. And it was clear to see that we needed someone to come in, slow down the game, control it. Basuma and Sarr should have got subbed on earlier. And I saw him say after the game, whether we put the subs on or not, that the intensity wasn't there. The team showed that they didn't want it. No. That's not an excuse. You make the changes to change the intensity, to bring on new players into the team that are going to bring a boost for us. And that's what we needed. We needed someone to come on, slow the tempo down in the game, control it, especially when we was at 2-1. Most definitely when it was 2-2, but when it was 2-1, you should have done that. Then he made the changes too late. And yet again, he wants to keep Timo on. Timo should have come off before the 84th minute. You brought Mikey Moore on with 10 minutes to go, and really and truly, you brought him on with nothing to do. Because at that point in the game was gone. Tottenham had run out of energy. We didn't have much. They were sat back on the edge of the box, so we know we can't break down low blocks. So you brought him on in a position where he's just coming on for minutes. That isn't good for a young player. Bring him on where he can actually have some impact. Bring him on when you're demanding him to do something. Because he come onto a game that had no intensity, where he couldn't bring on any impact. So it was just poor, man. Poor from Ange. But most definitely poor from the defense. Definitely, like, too many times this season, and under Ange's tenure, that we have basketball matches. These games are too open, and we need to learn to control a lot better. Most definitely need some more quality and depth, because it's clear to see defensively we need another left back. We need someone that can challenge Udogie over that side, because his performances haven't been at the level they need to be so far this season. I have to be honest here. So you need someone that can challenge him. We need another forward. I know Son and Odegaard are out, unfortunately, but we need someone else that can come in and challenge on them front lines, because if Son and Odegaard are out and we're left with Timo, this is where the problems lie, man. This is where the problems lie. We haven't got no one in the team right now that can do 1v1 dribbling on the wing. This is the Ange system. We need someone to run at their fullbacks. We ain't got one. We're playing in the transition right now. And if we can't score in the transition, we're not scoring at all. We're not scoring at all right now. It's an absolute mess. We're bottle jobs. And very, very Spursy performance, man. It was a very Spursy performance yesterday. And yeah, it's tough, man. Looking at the league table right now, as you can see on the right-hand side of me, we're 9th. 3 wins, 1 draw, 3 losses. It's a very horrible start to the season, if I'm honest, because 3 losses already, those being to Brighton, Newcastle, and Arsenal, and all games that we played better than the other teams in. It's not a good start. It's a horrible start, in fact, to the season. And I'd say performances need to pick up, but it's not just the performances. We need to fix those defensive issues. We're conceding far too many chances, leaving the games open, and better teams are going to crush us. Better teams are going to punish us more often. And when we come up against the likes of Liverpool and City, if they had as many chances as Brighton did, as many chances as some of these other teams did, they're going to score 3 or 4 against us. And with our front line and the lack of finishing we have, we're always going to have problems scoring more goals than the other team. So, yeah, man, it wasn't a great game yesterday. My head was gone, and that's why I didn't do a Durag Diaries short. But we're here, as you know, 2 p.m. every Monday, match review. Please, people, make sure that you're liking up the video, making sure you're subscribing, sharing. Laugh at my pain, innit, man? Laugh at my pain. It is what it is. Spurs fans, hopefully we're back next week on a big, next week in 2 weeks, on some better news off the back of a win. But not a great start to the season so far. But that is it, man. That is it. I ain't really got much else to say on the game. Before we go, yeah, man, just make sure you show some love on the channel, show some love on the page. And yeah, if you don't catch me here, you'll catch me on Saeed TV, Never a Foul, Top 6, Dan Potts, wherever, anywhere and everywhere, I'll be around. And I won't be hiding. I don't hide after losses. So yeah, we'll kill that narrative. But yeah, man, it's been Durag Diaries. We out.